Hey everyone, Ryan here, M&R Productions, and welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 75324 Dark Trooper Attack Set, or as some people like to call it, Dark Trooper Battle Pack, but it's definitely not that. It has 166 pieces and retails for $30 in the US with a March 1st, 2022 release date, obviously based off Season 2 of The Mandalorian, so we're inside of Moff Gideon's Imperial light cruiser. You can see the box art definitely represents that, and the actual build certainly does too. We've got the Dark Troopers trying to fend off Luke, who will not be stopped in his mission to get to Grogu there. We have Mando and Grogu on the bottom left of the box. Very cute looking Grogu and Pram, I might say. And we have an orange stripe to contrast the black greebling behind the LEGO Star Wars logo there. And if you end up deciding to purchase this set after watching this review, make sure you use the affiliate link in the description below. And hey, like the video while you're at it. Anyway, side of the box shows off Luke Skywalker coming out of that elevator. It's going to be a figure that a lot of people are going to be picking this set up for, on top of the Dark Troopers, obviously. And then we just see the build at a slightly different angle on the back, and it shows off the few features that this small build does have. Let's unbox it. And out of the package, we have two numbered bags, a sticker sheet, and the instruction manual. I'll build it, and we'll take a look at the minifigs. For the first time in what feels like a long time, we have a new style of Luke Skywalker minifigure, of course, based off the Season 2 finale of The Mandalorian, and this is really awesome to see. He unfortunately doesn't include a hairpiece, so you'll have to pop your own on there, and I'm not a particularly huge fan of the newer LEGO hood piece look for this particular minifigure. I don't know what it is, but this hood just kind of makes him look like a bad guy, which he obviously isn't. He's got his green lightsaber, which looks great, and then the rest of his robes have a pretty nice flow to them. You can see he's got the soft LEGO cape piece here, very soft. It's not going to like bend and break on you, which is nice, or fray over time too badly. And you can see underneath the cape there's a small back print, but that'll be covered by that cape most of the time, so it's not like it's a huge thing. And he has a second facial expression with a little bit of a more stern look. This is a really exciting minifigure, almost solely to me because it's new and different than the Luke pilots and Hoth Lukes that we've gotten of years past. It's just something different, which is nice. Here we have the Dark Trooper, of which you get 3 in the set, which is amazing for that $30 price point, and it is the exact same as the Dark Trooper that we got in Moff Gideon's Imperial light cruiser in the summer 2021 wave, and that's perfectly fine and expected. Didn't need or want any updates or changes to the figure. Definitely wanted to continue getting the same one here, and that's good. We've got the very nice helmet mold, and underneath that helmet mold you'll actually find just a regular LEGO head with a print on it, kind of the same idea that they use for Batman, where they put the color in behind instead of doing a dual mold and trying to work the red into the helmet. It's just printed onto the face, and then it kind of seeps through to the front of the helmet to give it that like iconic red look to the eyes. And then he's wearing some padding above him to make him a little bit of a bigger character, because the Dark Troopers are definitely bigger than regular characters in Star Wars. There's some big guys here. And if for some reason you don't want to have that piece on there, or if you lose it, you still have a reasonably okay looking character. I mean, they aren't as beefy or as cool looking without it, but they still at least have the details that you would want to have there. And an interesting technique that they use on this Dark Trooper in particular to make it look more like a droid, I suppose, because the actual Dark Trooper isn't a human, so like these spots are actually supposed to be gaps. These white spots, they're not supposed to be white, or they're just supposed to represent gaps basically in the armor or in the metal, whatever you want to call it. Like that's kind of the point of it. So it's an interesting way to try and represent that, and I think it does kind of help it look a little bit skinnier in a way. This is about as good of a minifigure selection for a set like this as I think anyone could have expected. And I think the question on many people's mind with this is, how many of these sets do I need to have the proper amount of Dark Troopers? Obviously you'll end up with a lot of excess Luke Skywalkers, but with 3 Dark Troopers in a set, how many do you need to buy to recreate the scene? Well, in the scene where Luke Skywalker arrives to take on the Dark Troopers, by the time he gets there, there are only 10 Dark Troopers left. So if you already have the actual Imperial light cruiser, you'll only need 3 of these sets to acquire 10. And if you don't have that, you'll need 4 sets. So not too many. But in this picture here, you can see that when the Dark Troopers start out on the ship, it appears that there are 4 rows of 8, meaning you'll need 32 Dark Troopers to have the quote-unquote proper amount, which puts you at 11 of these sets. Not something I'd quite recommend doing myself. For a set that's basically a cutaway hallway and not a ship that you would normally get from Lego Star Wars or vehicle, it is surprisingly a good display set. You usually don't get a lot of these from Lego Star Wars, but it does stray from the norm, and I really appreciate that about it. And what you'll notice, though, is that it only looks good from this side. Obviously, the back end, it's kind of like a movie set, right? Like, they don't put a lot of work into how the other side looks, and they didn't need to, but just keep that in mind that you're not going to want to display it like this. I don't really know why you would, but that's what the back end looks like, just very simple. And it is built on a brick base, which allows it to be raised above the ground, I suppose, but also just gives it more stability in general as a build, so you don't have to worry about it being super flimsy. You can see some of the brickwork under there with the crossing beams to give the support to the plates above. It just works out really well, and there's no wasted pieces on this set. Every piece has a purpose. They don't go in and tile over the bottom just to tile over the bottom. They leave it blank to, I suppose, cut costs, but like they also just didn't need to put anything there, so it ends up working out really nicely. Now, there's three main features on this set. First up, the elevator. You can see a small control panel using a sticker to the right of the elevator, and then the actual elevator itself has some stickers inside that have the Imperial light look to it, and I love that look, so that's a really nice sticker. The stickers are a little bit difficult to place, so if you do end up buying this set, just be careful placing those so that they can look good for you. And then above that is the level indicator for the elevator, and I believe they have the light on the proper spot there where it's the door is open light. That's the light that it ends up on when Luke walks out. So that's a pretty nice detail that they have there. And again, just sticker placement is going to be important there for you. Make sure you get those stickers as close as possible because they're kind of supposed to just be one continuous thing. And you'll notice a knob on top, and that knob is actually going to turn your elevator. So you can have the elevator closed, which I think looks, I don't know, not great when the elevator's closed, so definitely spin it back around. But, you know, you'll spin it around, and just like that, the elevator is open. And you can get Luke Skywalker inside the elevator. I will caution you, make sure you put him on the back studs, not the front studs, because as you can see here, the cape can get caught if he's not all the way back, and that will stop you from spinning it like it's supposed to. But with him all the way in the back, you can spin him all you want. So elevator closed, and then the elevator's here, it opens, and Luke Skywalker comes out. Once you've opened the door, or if this is just how you're going to display it, you can then give him his lightsaber. You can't have the lightsaber there while you're trying to use the function of it because the lightsaber will get in the way. It's just impossible to use it with the lightsaber out. Now, directly out of the elevator is actually some lights here on the left, and to the right, there's actually a hallway because the hallway extends down that way, and I believe it also extends down this way. So if you were to get multiple of these sets, you could build those extensions onto this, which is kind of cool. But nonetheless, the hallway is going to have tons of floor space. Like, it's even wider than I would expect for a set like this. Like, I feel like Lego would maybe cheap out, make it a couple studs thinner, but they actually made it rather wide, surprisingly so, and so you can actually fit the Dark Troopers pretty properly into the hallway here. We'll see if they can fit side by side like this, and you have plenty of space to do that, just like in the Mandalorian show where the Dark Troopers are side by side. That's really awesome. And I'll place one Dark Trooper on this suspiciously placed stud there on all the tiling, and Luke Skywalker will go on this round piece here, and you can do two things. You can have Luke Skywalker spinning in circles, hitting Dark Troopers with his lightsaber, and that's cool enough. Or you can have Luke use the Force to push the Dark Trooper away from him, and I guess effectively destroying the Dark Trooper would be the idea. And it's a really simple function, but it seems like a really cool play feature. All you have to do is pull back on this piece here, and just like that, the Dark Trooper has been flung back. So really simple function to make use of, but a really fun one at that. Not one that particularly takes away too much from the design of this, the displayability, but it does add a really nice play feature for it. So I love those three features. The thought just occurred to me that you can place a Dark Trooper down on the tiling behind the other Dark Trooper and then do this. What a fun feature. The final thing of note here is the wall on the right, which uses a ton of stickers, and unfortunately it looks like my stickers were cut poorly by Lego, so you can see they're a little off-center, but generally it's just the same kind of lighting scheme as the elevator, just a little bit more separated, but it looks really cool. And then we've kind of got some paneling on the wall, and then a control panel there with the red and everything. It's so cool, all the detail on that, and they even use these black pieces with a bit of texture to them. It's quite amazing, and I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be, but just extra detail on top. And then the very top of the build, since I didn't show it, does have some greeble detail, whatever, and tiling, so it's just a little bit of extra stuff up there that doesn't really need to be there, but is, so that's a nice addition. It feels really good to say this. Lego Star Wars has really delivered here. A surprisingly great build with a even more surprisingly so, great figure selection. And this may go down as one of the all-time great $30 size scale playsets for LEGO Star Wars. Getting 3 more Dark Troopers to add to your collection and the Mandalorian Season 2 Luke Skywalker, I just don't know what more you could ask for. And a surprisingly good and displayable build. I would also love to see a set like this for the Rogue One Darth Vader hallway scene, or I guess the A New Hope Darth Vader hallway scene, whichever, but like, yeah, that needs to exist too. But this set to me is a 10 out of 10. I'm sure the main complaint in the comments below will be, oh, $30, that's too much for 166 pieces. And I completely disagree. Just on the eye test, like just looking at this, it looks like a $30 set. It's fair game to me. You get 3 Dark Troopers, like that's worth it on its own. This is genuinely as close to a perfect LEGO Star Wars set as I think you can get. It's a 10 out of 10 from me. If you guys do decide to pick up this set, please use the affiliate link in the description below. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the set in the comments below. And you can check out more LEGO Star Wars 2022 set reviews on the end screen now.